Hi there, this is Ten. Today we're talking about a space company that has entered the stock market through a SPAC deal. Rather than another EV company entering the market through this means, a new SPAC tourism company decided to be listed in the stock market. Given that there is only one company currently traded in the stock market that is competing intensively with the company, it should be easy for this new company to attract investors to invest in the company, right? However, given that it is part of the ever-growing hyper-growth companies, most investors are spoiled for choices. Some investors will go for the ever-so reliable Tesla, while most ready investors will go for Robinhood, given how much they use the platform. Hence, there is very little left to go around for the rest of the growth companies. One of such companies would be Momentus, if the company is set to enter the stock market. Hence, in this video, we'll be talking about how Momentus could attract investors to invest in the company. Before we continue, please smash the like button, and if you'd like to see more such videos, please subscribe to this channel. Firstly, we'll be talking about the business model of the company. Momentus intends to use a multi-pronged approach to become a provider of three critical functions in the new space economy: space transportation, satellite as a service, and in-orbit servicing. The company also offers other infrastructure services, including dead satellite removal, inspection, and other satellite-to-satellite service offerings. Its transport and service vehicles consist of Vigorous, Endurance, and Ferrolex. Vigorous is designed to launch mid-sized and small rockets. It also changes optical planes, adjusts inclination, and delivers to altitudes in low Earth orbit. Our Direct delivers small and mid-sized satellites to custom orbits such as medium Earth orbits, geosynchronous orbits, highly elliptical orbits, or moon orbits. Ferrite is designed to move cargo across multiple space destinations. The company serves satellite operators, satellite manufacturers, launch providers, defense primes, and government agencies. Secondly, we're talking about the reasons why Momentus wants to go public through a SPAC deal. As space tourism companies, Momentus in final talks to go public through an acquisition by Stable Road Capital, are people familiar with the discussion post CNBC last year. The company would go public through the SPAC, for which Stable Road raised $172.5 million in November of 2019. The deal would value Momentus at near $1 billion per person at. The company launched its first demonstration mission in 2019, which provides with proof that the key part of its transfer vehicle, the water plasma engines, work. It has the first mission for Vigorix lined up this year, current slate for launch on a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket in December. To date, Momentus has raised almost $50 million from investors including Prime Movers Lab and Y Combinator. The market for Momentus transfer vehicle comes into play due to the increasing popularity of small satellites, which still needs a way to get from the orbit the rockets drop them off in the spacecraft destination orbit. It has the first mission for its Vigorix spacecraft lined up this year, current slate for launch of a SpaceX Falcon 9 in December. SPAC, known collectively as planetary companies, have become an increasingly popular method of going public. Rather than going through traditional IPO market, an investor often uses a SPAC to raise funds to finance an acquisition within a certain time frame, and the company that is acquired is effectively taken public. Next, we're talking about the troubling issue with the merger between Momentus and a SPAC company. Share of Stable Road Acquisition Corp fell in trading after the firm disclosed in the security filings that its merger target no longer plans to conduct any mission for customers this year. Quote, Momentus informed Stable Road that it does not expect to fly any missions in 2021 and that this determination was based on information from SpaceX that it was suspending its Momentus-related efforts while Momentus worked to secure approval from the US government. Stable Roads wrote, the firm was the first of several SPAC which announced deals with space ventures in the past year, saying it plans to take Momentus public at a $1.2 billion valuation. But Stable Road merger with Momentus have been brought down this year largely due to the national security concerns raised by multiple US government agencies. In April, Stable Road submitted a request to shareholders to extend the lifetime of the SPAC by 3 months to allow more time to complete its merger with Momentus. But early in May, the company learned that FAA denied Momentus' application to launch a payload on a SpaceX mission in June. Quote, during an inter-agency consultation, the FAA was informed that the launch of Momentus' payload posed national security concerns associated with Momentus' current corporate structure. End quote. Stable wrote in the security filings on May 10. Stable wrote, despite the recent FAA setback, on May 13, received shareholders' approval to extend the merger deadline to August from May. The extension passed by a slim margin, with Stable receiving support from 66.2% of shareholders, needing 65% for approval. Moreover, the SEC decided to charge Stable and Momentus over misleading claims. The US SEC said the company and Stable chief executive Brian Cabell agreed to pay $8 million to resolve allegations that they misled investors about Momentus technology and national security risks associated with its former CEO, Michael Kukwik. The entities which did not respond immediately to requests for comment settled with the SEC without admitting or denying the allegation. According to the SEC, Courage and Momentus, an early-stage space transportation company, repeatedly told investors that it has quote, successfully tested end quote, its propulsion technology in space when its only in-space test has failed to achieve its primary objective or demonstrate the technology's commercial viability. The regulator also alleged that Momentus and Courage misrepresented the extent to which national security concerns invoice Courage undermined Momentus' ability to secure required government license essential to its operation. The enforcement case marks the latest escalation in the SEC crackdown on Wall Street's SPAC frenzy, which has hit a record number of deals this year. After Momentus has settled the SEC charge, as the company get its SPAC deal approved and will go public, Stable acquisition announced its merger with Momentus was approved by shareholders, while only a little over half of Stable shareholders voted on the merger. 97% of those who voted approved the deal. Stable noted that public stockholders vowed to redeem about 20% of the firm's outstanding shares, an unusually high amount for a company that's going public, as redemptions are typically in the low single digits percentage, or less after a SPAC merger close. Stable stock is down nearly 43% so far this year, as the company has been embedded on numerous fronts. It has faced delayed missions and the pressure departure of Momentus founder and former CEO. Then the company valuation was cut in half from 1.1 billion to 567 million. Stable also faced SEC charge that is falsified results from a prototype spacecraft test in July 2019. SEC Chair Gary Scalise emphasized that its case against momentus and stable illustrates risk adherence to spec transactions as those who stand to earn significant profit from a spec merger may conduct inadequate due diligence and mislead investors. End quote. The fact that momentus lied to Stablewood did not absolve Stablewood of its failure to undertake adequate due diligence to protect shareholders, the SEC chairman added in a statement. Next, we're talking about how investors feel about Momentus with a new CEO after a turbulent SPAC merger. Quote, in terms of value for investors, I think we are positioned to meet some big market trends. End quote. Momentus CEO John Wood, who began leading the company on August 1st, to CNBC. Quote, there's a need for what we provide. End quote. Momentus road to public market have been embedded on multiple fronts, with missions now delayed to mid-2022 at the earliest. National security concerns about its Russian co-founder, former CEO Mikhail Kharkiv and Levi Kastly led to both selling their stakes in exchange for roughly 40 million, Wood said, and leaving the company. Momentus valuation was then cut in half from 1.1 billion to 567 million, and then the firm and Stablewood settled charges with the SEC that the companies misled investors and falsified the results from a 2019 prototype spacecraft test, paying about $8 million in civil penalty. The company was expected to have $310 million on its books to grow after the SPAC merger, but the complication of the process reduced the cash to about $150 million to fund our operations, Wood said. Wood describes Momentus as an early-stage technology company, as it is now testing a new variation of a water-based plasma energy called the microwave electrothermal thruster. The company told CNBC that its longest single firing of one of these engines during ground testing was 9.7 hours in the vacuum chamber, significantly longer than what we anticipate requiring for any single firing on orbit. The thruster is critical to Momentus' business plan, which involves delivering satellites from rockets to specific orbits using a spacecraft called Vigoroid. The spacecraft consists of a frame and engine, solar panels, avions, and a set of satellite deployers, specially designed for satellites that hinge a ride on large rockets, an increasingly popular industry practice called ride sharing. The company has planned to launch its first Vigoroid mission early this year, but the ongoing national security review led the spacecraft removal from SpaceX ride share launch. The delay has also led to Momentus losing customers, with a backlog of contracts dropping to 66 million from 90 million. Finally, we'll be talking about how I feel about the companies entering the market through a SPAC. Given a lack of concrete information given during the merger, it is very hard for me to understand fully the business model of the company. Moreover, many companies are entering the market through SPAC deals. This increased the number of growth companies that investors could choose. Given that there isn't any special with the company, most investors will not want to invest in the company. Furthermore, there is another public company that has been getting the spotlight in terms of space tourism. The company is Virgin Galactic. What is the point investing in this company when Virgin Galactic had proven that it could launch spacecraft into outer space? In conclusion, Momentus decided to enter the market through a SPAC deal. Even though the company has a vast path leading to its merger, the company is finally publicly traded. Therefore, more information could come out from the company to see if the company is worth investing. Hence, currently, I'm not a buyer of the stock. With that, thank you for a nice day. Goodbye.